Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to the Garden Quilt and Art Show, where good friends become family and family is everything. Excuse me, I'm discombobulated over here, getting hooked up. But life is life, and of course, things go wrong. So this morning, my toilet broke. I put it into the maintenance staff, but I go live at 4 o'clock today. And when do they show up to fix it? 4 o'clock today, and here they are. But thank you for coming. I have Mr. Hershey over here assisting me. I had to put him in the chair because guess what? He might be 10 pounds, but he is not going to let anybody come in this apartment. So he hears noises going on. Let me go back and say welcome in those of you who are here for the first time, those of you who are subscribers, moderators, and supporters. Thank each of you. So let me see if I can go back to the top when everybody came in, because of course they come to the door just as it's 4 o'clock Eastern, and it's time for me to go live. So, GG Naturals, thank you for coming and welcome. Unbiased LLC, who is working in the background. She's the busiest person I know. Doncel Cooper, Tamika Davis, and each and every one of you. I hope you guys are doing well. As well, I had a busy appointment. I was out the door at 8 o'clock this morning. I had several missions, one of which is whether you believe in them or not, whatever you do, that's your business. But me, I have an elderly mother, young children in the family, and some others who cannot be vaccinated. So I went and got a flu shot today. As well, I have asthma and other respiratory issues. I can't afford to get sick or get RSV or whatever a million things that are going around. Juanita Campbell, hey, you're out of the bushes and you're coming in regularly. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you. So you were in the ads, now you're hungry. Olive Garden. Olive Garden ain't got nothing on Auntie Ella's garden and cooking Michael. And the ads, I'm hoping to get enough money to pay for my StreamYard, pay for my wherever else I go next, because I paid for what is this? I paid for September, but I can't. Can you hold on for 1 minute because the guys are talking in the background? Hold on. Um, just one minute. Okay. Hold on. Hershey, stop. Oh my gosh. I'm back. Oops. Sorry, I'm back, you guys. Ellos están hablando loud in Espanol. So it is what it is. Life be life and life goes on. But I'll tell you, when I first started the channel and something like that would happen, oh, I would freak out. I would freak out. Hola, mi hermana. Yankee sister, are you downstairs? Can I let you in? I really need a co host today. I need somebody to help a sister out. And Mike, what is everybody doing in their garden? I actually, for those of you who are on Facebook, I posted a couple photos. My garden is cleaned out, it's mulched down for the fall. I'm ready to plant garlic, but I don't have any garlic this year. All the previous years that I've had my community garden, I saved garlic from the year before. But guess what? I went to harvest my garden this year, and guess what happened? Somebody stole all of my garlic. I planted 100 little pieces, thinking it was like 105, thinking that I would have enough for this year and some extra. I figured there are 52 weeks in a year. I would have at least two bulbs a week, maybe one bulb, right? And save some. Yankee sister said she wishes she could be here. She got some plants for me. Yo necesito plantas. I need more. I need more. Sissy, Joanne Stevens, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I have to figure out what's going on because her name is not showing up in green, but they're taking her money out of her account every month for the Friends and Family Club. So we don't know. Mike, there used to be a sign out there that said, do the previous, community property manager had a little sign that says, do not take anything from this garden. And it accidentally got thrown away this year because it was looking all beat down and I had somebody helping me clean up. You see, yet no, not Yankee System, Mike. Joanne Stevens is supposed to be in green. They're taking her money. They're taking her money. So it should be both, I thought. I thought that if you were a moderator and a contributor, that it would be in green. But maybe the highest crown is that you are in blue. Empty ways. Thank you, Sissy. Thank each of you. Fifi, thank you for coming. Thank you. Dolores is saying, hello, everybody. She can't speak individually, but she's listening. Uh-oh. My audio. Okay, hold on, you guys. I don't know. I have my audio up as loud as it will go. Um, put put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me, because Dolores is not in the studio where she usually is listening to me. She's out and about. Can you guys put a one in the chat if you can hear me the way that you usually do? Oh, Unbiased says I sound good. So Dolores, I think that it's your headset. Me, I'm afraid to touch anything. I use this laptop for everybody's putting a one in the chat, Dolores. So I think it's your audio. And by the way, you guys, Dolores put out her video this morning. No, when was it? She's doing live. She's also evaluating other platforms, streaming platforms where you can go to next. I'm not paying $44 a month extra. There are other platforms where they are charging less. They have different features and all of those things. But life isn't easy. I come on here. Now, for me, I don't have a big channel. I don't have a channel with where I'm selling anything. Yes, I do have things for sale. I make things for other people, but I don't per se have, you know, a big channel. I don't make $25 a month in the ads, Mike, that you get stuck in or anything else. And I would like to one day have enough money to at least pay for the streaming, pay for Canva, which is like $15-20 a month. I just signed up for professional Canva and StreamYard. So all I'm trying to do is pay for. Oh, Dolores was saying she set the audio so no one can hear my background. Okay, thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Dolores. But they were talking. Yankee Sister says she's still using free. When they mess with that, I'm gone. Sis, I will forward to you the emails that they sent me because I was on the paid version. But I had the version that was supposed to. Oh, I'm all sweaty, all be all dad, all tore up, trying to hurry up and show them what was gone. But that's life, right? That's just life. You're okay. So as long as you guys can hear me, and excuse me, what platform do any of you know where you're going next? Or we're just gonna be homeless? They're gonna lock us out because we didn't pay. I'm paid until October 3rd, so I'm gonna ride this bus until it stops on the 3rd, and the driver gets out, and I'm just stuck here at the station and can't go anywhere. I've had that happen, you guys. When I was when I was legally blind and I was at my mother's house, it ain't funny, homeless Yankee sister. I've never been homeless. I have been off grid and without benefits, but I did have that. I have had, you guys, because I went there to the property in North Carolina when I went back down there in 2007. We were waiting to build a house on the property that was there. The well was there. Uh, Unbiased said she will be streamless. And we went down there and I bought a one bedroom mobile home for my Cane Corso Italian Mastiffs to live in, and I was going to use it for storage. I bought a one bedroom mobile home to put on another acre to live in while we were selling a different home and building something on the property. Well, I got down there, the wiring wasn't set up to the pole. We then had electricity on the property. It just had to be connected to the co-op. But the good thing about the co-op is if they made more money than they projected that year, that quarter, whatever they did, you would get a refund. Excuse me, Nancy, our treasured home. Thank you, each and every one of you. So, going back to the story about moving back in 2007, I had a tag along trailer that was 6 foot wide and 12 feet long that I used to use to take the dogs to the dog shows. And I had the dogs in there. It was set up kind of like you see some of those little trailers set up where people have bunk beds living. While I had the dogs set up with their crates above each other, ventilation, all the stuff. We got down there and I looked in there. It never occurred to me to ask them to make sure that it was clean. I went in there. I didn't know if there were spiders in there, if there were snakes or whatever. Mind you, I was ahead of one of those big moving vans, the ones that go from almost 2 stories up all the way down to a couple inches above the ground. And hi, Shay Shay. Thank you. And hello to everyone that I didn't see to speak to. Ruby Spot. I'm a little bit distracted today. I have people working here, but I'm going to keep on working and I'm going to visit with you guys. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. So I get down there because the movers had to finish packing up this truck. This truck was so big, you guys, that I had a Dodge Grand Caravan that they drove up into there, and they moved that down with some of the other stuff. I drove down in my Mitsubishi Montero Sport with the tag along trailer and the dogs and food for them and some water. Well, I wasn't going in that place. I unloaded the dogs, during the day. I put them in their trailer at night because we've owned that property since 1982. Dolores saying, hello, hello, hello. She's welcome in, Dolores. And uh, when the big truck got down there, now we had an acre set around, maybe a half an acre, where you could turn tractor trailers around. Because, like I said, we owned that property since 1982. Hey, Kelly, I bring it every day. Thank you for coming and welcome. So we get down there. I'm not going in this place that I was supposed to sleep in. The secondhand mobile home that I had for the dogs had holes in the floor. It was blighted. It was blight. So the guy looks at me. He says, I thought you said it was for the dogs. I'm like, are you kidding me? These are show dogs. You guys Google Cane, Canecorso, Italian Mastiffs. Back then, these dogs were $2,500 a piece. You don't even want to know what they cost now. They're like 5,000 and up. I wasn't putting my dogs in there. A spider could bite one of them, or a snake could be in there. No way. No way. So we made it work, and about the next day, the big moving van gets down there. Oh, and they had something coming out of the George Washington Bridge in New Jersey or something. Some car hit their truck, and they had to stop and do the report, the traffic report, the anything. So yes, snake. No, snake saw, because I'm familiar with the property back there. There's a little stream in the back of it, and we had moccasins, or I forget the other word for moccasins. They swim and they are poisonous snakes. We had copperheads down there. We had copperheads. So no, I wasn't doing that. I went and took some of the things I had inside of my SUV, and I slept in there for a couple nights. The toilet wasn't hooked up. You guys, talking about prepping. Well, let me go back to where when the big truck got there. Well, it was so low to the ground that it couldn't go over the covert and get in the property to turn around to drop the stuff off. So they pulled along the highway. It was like on a state road. And I had the guy who I bought the mobile homes from. I rented the trailer, like the back of an 18 wheeler. It was 53 feet long. And I had him back it up onto the property. And they had to unload the great big moving van into the tractor trailer thing. And I rented it for 2 years. Then I said, you know what? No, I think I rented it for a year. And then I figured out, how would I, why would I keep paying for it? So I bought it. I sold it later on. Fifi's talking about what bread? What bread are you talking about, Fifi? I don't know what she's talking about. I guess she's talking to someone else. Hey, Mona, sifting some soil. Did I say hi to Mika Davis? Okay. So, is anybody still growing summer things? Put a 2 in the chat if you're still growing summer, and put a 3 if you are ready for fall. Ready for fall. So I'm going to go to the farmer's market since I could not harvest my own garlic this time. So Fifi saying 2 Two, she's going on. She's going on. Yankee sister. Yankee sister, I'm ready for my stuff. My beds are all cleaned out. They're all mulched. I have people helping me. And by the way, yes, the maintenance men are still in there in the bathroom. I didn't mean to close the door and accidentally closed them in. I guess they don't mind breathing each other's breath. So, oh, speaking, moving right along and eating healthy out of your garden. So, last week we talked about some of the things to do if you want to live to be 75 years old and happily ever after. Somebody asked me how I will be 76 in November, and my hair is still charcoal, salt and pepper, whatever. Well, I had a medical procedure back in 1997, and my surgeon was also like head of surgery at Norwalk Hospital, Norwalk, Connecticut, and he had done some surgery on my dad as well. He told me to take antioxidant vitamins. Well, I've been taking vitamins all my life, a lot of vitamins, always eating healthy. He told me to take vitamin E, fish oil, vitamin C, and started taking one a day, vitamins for silver. Always took iron pills because I was slightly anemic. Yankee sister, oh yes, Yankee sister. I would like some strawberry plants. Why? Because all the strawberry plants I had when I started the community garden, the Bulls Garden sent me some, and they were dug up and stolen. But now we have cameras in the community garden, and we haven't had. Oh, and the cameras were put in after the garlic got stolen. And then, sometimes people are just trifling. People are trifling. I had one lady. Oh, let me finish telling you about my hair. So, I just recently found out that they stole my plants. Yeah. And my mint, Yankee sister, all that mint I had in the back, all those different kinds of mint, my own mint. Yankee sister gave me chocolate mint, pineapple mint. It's all gone. People pulled it up. Just trifling, trifling. But going back to my hair, I found out that, and you can see it's gray. It's a lot of gray, a lot of gray, and I love it. I'm gonna be a silver fox, y'all. A silver fox. People are evil, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, people are wicked and mean, and I don't mind sharing. I share every week. Every single week that I'm on this earth, I give something to someone. I share willingly what I have. But I go to PTSD counseling, and they better be glad that I didn't walk up on them, because I would not be going to PTSD counseling. I would be going to anger management. Something real bad might happen to them. But anyway, I found out that taking large amounts of vitamin C, antioxidant, means they don't oxidize, and my hair didn't turn gray yet. I would love to have silver hair, but I'm just happy to have some hair, and I'm happy. 10, the educated natural. I love the work that you and Dolores are doing, educating us, those who are less informed about the different streaming platforms. Oh, by the way, put exclamation mark GQUAT in the chat to drop the link so that people can find your channel and go there. Dolores is in the bushes. 10 somewhere. Psalm 146. Good, glorious afternoon, Auntie Ellen and everyone. Please tell Bean Juice I said hello. But speaking of wanting things, I live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of Ukrainian and Russian refugees. Some of them came over after the war. A lot of people really, really don't have don't have the necessities or things that they have, and maybe they do think, but they know that that's not public space, because they could go over there and get one for almost nothing, almost nothing. And I had a lady last year ask me for some, she called it dirt. It's actually soil, actually good potting soil that I had already, ramped up with perlite, with other additives, bone meal, blood meal, eggshells, coffee grinds. But she asked me for some. I'm trying to read the chat. Glad to see you are okay and unbiased. That for those of you who were in the wake of the storm, I'm glad each of you are okay. So, yeah, going back to the people, I gave the lady a pretty big pot of soil, the size that I use for my bigger plants here. Then she came back, she asked for some more. I gave her some more. Then this last week, she asked me, or earlier this week, if she could have some more. And I told her, I said, I have raised beds now, and I don't even have enough soil for my own. I have some, in my storage that I'm trying to get unloaded so that I can fill up my plants so that I can grow something. Her husband passed, and I guess instead of two incomes, she has one. She moved from a one bedroom to a from a two bedroom to a one bedroom. Rudy Erahita with autism. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you. So after I said that to her, she actually said, "Oh please, I just need a little bit. I can't stand to hear uh um a person, an adult, not begging, but just, pleading for something." So I gave her some more. I gave her some more. If I have to put less in my pot, whatever, I'm never going to be hungry, no matter what. I hear people say, well, that was nice of you. You could be homeless one day. It's impossible for me to be homeless because I have a really large family. I have sisters and brothers. I have children. I have grandchildren. I have great grandchildren. And I even have a great great grandson. And all of my life, the elders look out for the children look out for the elders. Like we were talking one time about holidays, and I grew up, we each sat around the dinner table at night, the babies, everybody, and we ate as a family. Now it's different. There's so many different things. Everybody's got their own car. They've got things after school, their own jobs. But going back to the taking care of each other part, or being homeless, the children, the baby is, my mom just turned 93 last year, and I mean last Sunday, and my granddaughter, which is her great granddaughter, and their family live in the house. And that's how my mother is able to stay home in her own house at that age, because she can't do the things that you need to do to take care of a house. You see, I can't do what needs to be done myself physically to take care of a one bedroom apartment. So I do have help. But anyway, even the baby is so cute. When he comes in, he loves helping make a salad and tearing up the lettuce and doing what he can do to make my mom's salad. He wants to carry it from the kitchen through the dining room, through the den, through the living room, through the entrance foyer to my mother's room. And he likes to feed her. You see this little 4-year-old with these little steady arms feeding grandma. So the children, know to look out for the elders. The elders have looked out for them. So I don't have to worry about that. So everybody is saying prayers and safety for everybody in the path of the hurricane. Those of you who are in California, where the earthquake, there's an earthquake today, for those of you who don't know, a 4.7 earthquake. And that's different than a about earthquakes. For those of you who are not familiar with them, I have been in earthquakes. I have been in earthquakes where my whole teacup collection was broken up, where the china cabinet turned over, where the house was trashed. And I've been in a couple really big earthquakes, but like a 4.0 for each degree, like 4.1, that's 10 times stronger. 4.2, that's 10 times stronger than the 4.1. It increases geometrically. Geometrically. So let's talk about current events. Current events. I don't know if you guys can see because I've got fabric down there. Mr. Hershey, I had to put him on the chair so that he wouldn't chase the maintenance men out of here. He protects his mommy. He's going to bark at them. He's going to beat them up. He's not going to let them in. One of the maintenance men he knows, but the others are new. So, what did I get from the post office? Couple things. Here's my mail haul. One thing that I bought, that I ordered, is this. Unbiased will be happy to see. So it is a new ruler that I can use with a good boy, good boy, good boy. Oh my gosh. Oh, just a minute, you guys. Sorry. Sorry. Hold on. So I had to mute him. There are two guys walking back in my apartment, and when you hear Hershey, that little whoop, you've never experienced an earthquake. It can be pretty scary, Yankee sister. I was in one of the ones where all the furniture turned over and everything got thrown out of the cabinets and whatnot. There was crushed glass, and you know what? There's a roaring noise. It's loud. It sounds like a train is coming, and it gets louder and louder. You look at the corners of the ceiling, and it's going wah wah wah, and it gets pitch black. At the time, yes, Mr. Hershey is on point. He only barks if somebody's there, and when he gives that little aggressive ruff, and if I'm in the bed, he knows like when I'm in pain, when I've had surgery, a knee replacement, whatever, and I have an aide or nurse come in to help me. They can't touch me unless they let me know that they're coming near the bed or walking around. If they come between me, Mr. Hershey, and me, he is going to bark. And he only barks if somebody's there. He doesn't bark for no reason at all. Hold on 1 minute. Let me see if they're finished. One moment, please. Okay, they're not finished. He came to wash his hands. So here is a little ruler, and the reason I got this particular one because I do freelance quilting. I don't have a long arm machine anymore, but I don't know if you could see these. I like these little wavy lines. The quilt that I had up here for a long time, for those of you who've been following the channel for a while, it around the continent of Africa is some space that's supposed to be waves. So I wanted to make it look like waves, but I didn't want wobbly waves. So you see where it says waves? So I'm going to put the edge of a special contraption that goes along the presser foot. It's a special presser foot for using rulers. And I'm going to put waves in the ocean on that quilt. Oops. It wouldn't be alive if I didn't drop something, you guys. It would not be alive. And by the way, Yankee's sister, and I apologize, she's so faithful to me. For those of you who have channels and you go live in the mornings, I'm out the door at 8:30 in the morning, and I don't get back. I've been invited on other channels that go live in the morning on weekdays. I'm just not home, or I have people in that are working, and it's just not feasible for me to go live. So this is something I have been expecting and waiting for. And my mom's family had their biennial reunion 2 weekends ago, and I ordered two new T-shirts. And this, my mother's maiden name is Thomas, and I am part of 8 generations that I've been alive. I've been alive for 8. There are 6 living generations right now. My mother's generation, mine. I have 2 children. I have 5 grandchildren. No, 5 great grandchildren. And wait a minute. Anyway, just trust me, there's 6. There are 6. So this is a really nice screen printed shirt. And it says Thomas Family Reunion. And the Thomas family has been in the United States since the 1700s, my mom's family. Um, Grandfather, whichever was Thomas, came over and actually served in the Revolutionary War. And we've had family members on the Thomas side that have fought in every war since then in the United States. And because of his fighting in the Civil War, Grandpa Augustus Thomas was able to buy 400 acres of land in Pennsylvania and had a walk in coal mine. Well, that land has since been sold, but part of that property was set aside for a family cemetery. Because of the service of the family members back then, the state of Pennsylvania has done a verification of all the people that are buried. I can actually look up my grandfather. Sorry about that noise, you guys. If it's too loud, let me know. Um, they have, but I had to leave the door open because it's a small room they're working in, and I couldn't leave them shut up. So they kept part of the land, and it's a registered historic landmark. And I can actually, oh, Mike says he can't hear it. Thank you. I can actually look at my grandfather's tombstone. He was born in 1899, as was his identical twin brother. But you know what's interesting about the records back then? They were not, if you were of color, they were not recorded in the courthouse or anything like that. They were recorded in the family Bible, which then became a historic document. I've actually touched this Bible. And you know what? Grandma Amanda was born in 1836, and Grandpa Thomas was born in, I think, 1834. But what's so interesting about that, the Civil War didn't start in until 1861. So no matter what side you were on, you need to know what the dates stand for. And I was like, wait a minute. Now, how did they move from Virginia, North Carolina to Pennsylvania and buy 400 acres of land during slavery? So then I went on Ancestry, and it said, oh, they were mulatto, which means mixed race, but that they were free. And mixed race doesn't mean that you're mixed with any particular race. It's like Marsala. It's just mixed with other things. So they were free. I have all the documentation over there in notebooks. I'm writing a book, and in this envelope is a flash drive because David Corey's on duty. Thank you for keeping us safe, sir. So going back to this guy Henry Thomas, the one that came over in 1712, he had 8 sons. The 8 sons each had their lineage, and Auntie Joanne and I are from the Henry Thomas line of the family. My other T-shirt got grease on it, you guys. So let me see. This one says XL. I wish I'd asked for 2XL, but this is the back of the T-shirt. Back of the T-shirt, and of these 8 branches here, of these 4, Auntie Joanne and I are from the Henry line. And so I'm recording some of the stories, because now on my dad's side of the family, I actually remember my great grandmother. So I have a picture with her, Grandma Hope. And so I have been alive for 8 generations. And I want to tell the story of what I remember about them. I want to tell the story about what my mother remembers. She remembers going to, well, the land that Grandpa Augustus had. He built a house. I'm trying to open this, a homestead house, and my mother was telling me that she remembers you go through the kitchen, and the bathroom was outside of there, and there was this huge cherry tree, black cherry. There were grape trees, there were orchards, they did farming. They did farming. And so this is a picture of some of the family members who were at the Thomas reunion 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So I got this picture for Mother. Are you there? I'll see you on the 22nd, Mom, but I'll bring this. I'm going to make a copy of it for anybody, my sisters and brothers or family that would like to have a copy of it. And you see, several of them have their blue T-shirts on. And the actual family tree, when it's printed out, is, I think, 156 pages. Can you imagine that? 156 pages. And I have the family tree, but this is the flash drive so that I can actually pull them up and see them. Hey, Miss Shirley. Hey, sis. Miss Shirley OG. By the way, you guys, Miss Shirley OG goes live tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Her big sister, however, is usually down for the count. I was going to take a nap today, and just when I was dozing off, the maintenance men came to do some work. But life just keeps lifing. You do what you got to do. One of the things I do when I go to the family house, the homestead house here in Connecticut, and for those of you who don't know or are curious, Auntie Joanne and all my siblings were born here in Connecticut. If you wonder how, my mom came from Pennsylvania, moved to Connecticut. My dad moved here from North Carolina, and they've been here about 76 years, because my mom still lives in Norwalk, in her house that she's had for about 55 years. 55 years. But when I go, my granddaughter braids professionally when she's not at her full-time job. But when she's braiding my hair, I spend the time reading to my great great grandson. Miss Shirley said she was napping. Don't tell our secrets. When Hershey started barking, I didn't hear the men at the door. They know not to knock, knock, knock because he goes nuts. So they just scratched softly, and Hershey heard them and let me know what's up. So I didn't have time. I like to wear black because it doesn't. Do I see strings on everything? Crafty Leo always has her little roller to get the off. So here's a little book about waiting is not easy. And I thought I would just it's a big book. It's few words because many of us have trouble waiting. So this book is a children's book. It says waiting is not easy. It's not easy. Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner has a new great grandbaby, and then I guess this book is about Gerald. This is my first time reading it. I have a stack of little books down here, and I bring one each time that I go there. So it says Gerald, and then it says I have a surprise for you. And Gerald saying, yay! What is it? This is about teaching about waiting. Val creates. Hi, Val. I like those new autumn colored beads that you have. And um, the other one is saying, the surprise is a surprise. I mean, we can't tell you what the surprise is. So Gerald, or one of these creatures, is saying, oh, and then it's like most of us can't wait. Are you? Do you hear Hershey growling? He's actually growling. He sees the man over there and he's like, don't come over there. So Gerald or the other one saying, is it big? And the other little guy is saying, yes. Good boy, Hershey. He's just standing there. He's not bothering you. Is it pretty? Hold on one second, you guys. I'm Thank you guys. I'm just a good. Yeah, was a very good boy. He's gone. He did slam the door kind of hard. So this is about waiting, you guys. The tributes of waiting. So they're saying, "Is it pretty?" Yes. It's like all of us. If somebody says they have a surprise for you, do you guys ask all these questions? Teresa Bailey, welcome in from Facebook. And then it says, can we share it? Are these all the questions that you guys ask if somebody has a surprise? Or if you don't ask it out loud, do they go through your hair? And then, I don't know, the other guy saying, I cannot wait. It says, you will have to wait. How many of us are like this as adults? And they say, what? Wait, why? The surprise is not here yet. So this is funny. I thought you guys would enjoy this. I said, so I will have to wait for it? Yes. Isn't that like gardening, you guys? Miss Shirley says a commercial popped up. Okay. Well, please look at it, you guys, so that I don't know how it's programmed, so that I can get enough money to get some type of streaming services and keep bringing these programs to you. So Gerald or the other guy is groaning, waiting with patience. I don't know why commercials are popping up in the middle. Okay. So it says, oh well. Unknown caller. Oh, you guys. Okay, I'm just having a hard time today. So I put the do not disturb on. I didn't have it on before. Oh, so distracted. So going back to waiting, isn't this what we go through with our our gardens, especially if we have something coming up and the stick came out, we don't remember, and it says, I am waiting. So I thought this book was funny for the people who have gardens. And then it says, waiting is not easy. And it says, Piggy, it says, I want to see your surprise now. I guess one's name is Gerald and the other one's name is Piggy. So we want to see what crop is coming up now. We want to see what it is. You just got HBO and Wendy ad. Oh, brother. I am so sorry, Gerald. So sorry. Maybe there's a way I can turn the ads off when I'm live. But this is, but we must wait. So we're waiting for our crops and the ads. And Gerald is groaning, just having a fit. Don't you hate waiting for the strawberries? I've got some black cherry tomatoes that I grew from, that Yankee's sister grew from seed. I put them outside, and um, I'm still waiting for the first one from there. And it says, I am done waiting. I do not think your surprise is worth all this waiting. Teresa Braley says, her grandchildren, Addie and Harley, love this book. I love this book. It says, I will not wait anymore. Not anymore. Oh, that's funny, Teresa Bailey. A lot of the children's books that I get, a lot of you have for your grandchildren. I like this one because I can actually see it when I'm in that chair getting my hair done without my glasses. And then it says in little print, okay, I will wait some more. And then one of them says, it will be worth it. Are we going to wait and see what's going to go up in the crops? Only a couple more pages, you guys. So this guy is groaning, just groaning. Is that what we go through in our gardens? And he goes, Piggy, we have waited too long. And for those of you, the censors or whatever, I'm just reading a book. I'm not trying to violate any copyright. This is just for learning purposes. So it's getting dark. It's getting darker. Uh-oh, so he's waited all day. Now it got dark. Soon we will not be able to see each other. Soon we will not be able to see anything. Boy, waiting for those crops to come up. And it says, we have waited the whole day, the whole summer, the whole week. We want our food in our garden. No, the book doesn't say that. I added that. Well, we have waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. Somebody actually told me I should be doing reading for the blind or for people in nursing homes and stuff. I actually used to when my dad was in one for a while. And for what? What are we waiting for? For that? And look what they were waiting for the stars to come up. The stars to come up. You know, that's just life. A great audible. Thank you, Yankee sister. And it's this was worth the wait. I know. How many of you waited and watched for the eclipse? My kids were out there with special glasses on, special cameras recording it. It says, tomorrow morning I will show you the surprise. And it says, I cannot wait. And there are a whole series of books. So how many of you were like that yesterday with your seeds that you planted on Tuesday as if they were going to germinate in 24 hours? Some of them actually do. I planted some in my arrow garden and with that light on, and you don't really need to fertilize. You don't really need to fertilize the seeds until they get the second set of leaves. They said, oh, so beautiful, worth the wait. Yeah, so come on, Mr. Hershey, would you like to get down? Come on. Come on. So, the maintenance man said that he has to come back tomorrow to do something else. So, I will see them hasta mañana. Vaya con Dios, mi darling. They germinated today. They heard you. I know. You plant seeds and you keep looking every day to see if you see a green little spout. You keep looking, looking, looking. You know, it's almost like me. I'm still working on my mother's denim quilt. For those of you who are new or have been tuning in, David Corey, I know you've been looking, looking, looking for denim quilts. No, thank you, Hershey. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I've been working on it. It will be 112 inches wide by 96 inches long. That's a big quilt. So I've got all of the sections completed, and I just have to sew section row columns 1 and 2 to 3, 4, and 5. So that's one seam here and then one seam here. I was going to do it for you guys live, but it's too heavy. I can't pull it and talk and do all the stuff. So I'm going to work on the strip quilt. When you guys see me in here, I'm not making up content. Hello, mother, mommy. My mother likes looking. She says, I saw you sewing on my quilt, and then you weren't. But I also have other projects going on. I'm working on the strip quilt with the little pieces and the scraps of fabric I've been saving for 25 years from bits and pieces of quilts that I've made. But you guys, look at this. Those 4 black containers up there under my 40-quart bowl. Yes, I said 40 quarts. It is 5 gallons, and there are 8 quarts in each gallon, I think. Whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. So I use that when I'm canning and harvesting. I have one of those heavy duty grabbers and I get it down. But what I wanted to tell you is that each of those 4 hampers is filled to the top with finished quilt tops that I have to send to the long armor. Hey, Deidre, the analytic gardener. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am going to go over and show you guys how I make strip quilts. Now I'm making one with scraps the old fashioned way with an underpinment. You're like that with some Georgia collards. You just plant it. I decided I'm not planting any collards this year. Some One of our friends who we became family to 25 years ago here in the area that I live in has a farm that I think has gone back to the 1700s, and they have tons and tons and tons of organic collards. In fact, I don't think they've planted theirs yet because they wait until they've harvested their summer crops, and then they don't do their crops, they don't harvest them until the first frost. My dad didn't harvest ours until the first frost as well. No collards, because I just got my tin beds this summer, just got them put up, and I didn't get the hoops yet to go over them. And that little, I have some tulle. I have whole spools of it, so I will be able to protect them. But I can't move that fast. I can't move that fast, and I don't want the bugs eating up mine. They tore up my kale. They don't seem to like the Swiss chard as much. I have lettuce out there. So, yep, the frost sweetens them. Daddy never let us pick them until the frost hit the collards. And he was a country boy. So, let's go over and work on some quilts. But what I want to show you guys is not my mom's quilt, not the denim quilt, but the little piece quilt that I'm working on with all of these bits and pieces of the quilts, the all the quilts that I finished, not all of them. a lot of them. I have bits and pieces up there. I have maybe little pieces. I have Christmas fabric. I have children's fabric where I made my great great grandson a pillowcase out of this. So I have little bits and pieces of parts of my life for 25 years. Some were good, some were other. I started to I started to sew when I was like 6, 7 years old in brownies. Hey, LaShawn Camel. She says, "You're amazing. Love your channel. Thank you. I love your channel as well." LaShawn, put exclamation mark GQUAT, each of you in the chat who have content so that we can find each other. For those of you who don't know LaShawn Campbell, she is a veteran, a disabled veteran, and she talks about the power of prayer on her channel. She talks about how she survives as a disabled veteran, how she cooks, how she lives on a budget, and it's very, very, very interesting. So I had a little print, something like this, but it had purple in it. I actually have bits and pieces of a different fabric like that, and I handmade a little skirt when I was in brownies. And growing up in Connecticut, you guys, it's funny. I was the only brown brownie in my troop. I was the only one. And then I went to Girl Scouts and I learned how to do more exquisite hand sewing. I took a home economics class in high school. I had to drop my college prep study class in order to do it. But I I I had a very tiny waist when I was little, like younger, like 20, 21 inches, and a whole bunch of junk in my trunk, and my clothes didn't fit. So if I bought them to fit my hips, everything else was too big. So I used to have to alter a lot of my clothes. So in college and high school, I made or altered a lot of my clothes. Urban Gardening Chronicles, thank you for coming. She has to go on the road, but she'll keep us on the laptop. Take care. You take care too. But I want to show you something. I had some people in my writing group. I was in a formal writing group since I've been trying to write this family memoir. I have bits and pieces of all kinds of fabric that is going in this quilt. I just can't wait to show you in these little blocks. There are other ways to sew strips in very quickly, and I want to show you that as well. UGC, prayers and blessings, be safe. But I want to show you, I don't know how many of you know what a duvet cover is. It's a cover that you put over your blanket to keep it clean, and you wash the duvet cover instead of the blanket inside there. I want to tell you guys a funny story. So I had a feather duvet or something in North Carolina. I was staying in that 1 bedroom mobile home while we were building the house. Dolores is back. She says, "Hello, Miss Shirley OG." And so I had a swimming pool that I was using for a whelping box for this 120-pound Connie Corso. And I fell asleep. I fell asleep, talk about waiting for her to have her puppies. And I woke up and I thought I was in heaven. I was in a white cloud. Well, this Cane Corso Italian Mastiff had torn open this feather bed that I had the duvet cover on, and all these little tiny, tiny down feathers were all over the room. They were in the heater. They were in the fan that was blowing. It was a mess. It was a mess. But anyway, going back to the story I'm telling you now about the duvet cover, one of my friends that was in my writing group came by and she gave me some fabric one day. And there's like, this is either a king size or queen size duvet cover, a duvet cover. Sissy, do you remember Diva? Diva was Bella's Bella's sister. So, and she was very rare, a very rare color. So this is what is going to be the backing on that little strip quilt that I'm working on. Darth X, hello, 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 and welcome. I want to welcome each and every one of you. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. I thought about Darth X. For those of you who are following the news, James Earl Jones is an African American actor. For those of you who don't know, big guy, like six something, with a very deep, distinguished voice, and he played Darth Vader in the movie. But anyway, he passed this week, and there was a singer named Frankie Beverly from the Los Angeles area that Uncle Roscoe grew up with, and he also passed. Yes, Yankee sister. That's what I'm saying. They both passed this week. And it was really sad. I remember going to the Frankie Beverly concerts and rocking out, singing. It was so sad to hear of James Earl Jones. He just had a magnificent voice that resounded. Mona, sifting some soil. Thank you for coming. So, you guys, I'm going to put this aside. I'm so excited because the little quilt, the one I'm making with the little strips, will become a legacy piece, and it will have bits and pieces of everything, good, bad, and ugly. I want to make you laugh. So I went to a secondhand store with Auntie Joanne. Do you see this? This fabric has red and yellow frogs on it on green fabric. So so Auntie Joanne and I went there, and the fabric was a really, really good quality fabric. And she said, "Oh, Sissy, don't buy that. That's too creepy." I went home that night before you let it go. Yes, before I let it go. Oh, Frankie Beverly. That was the jam. That was a jam. Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD is chick like me. Like me. Nikki's just a younger version of me. Nikki could be my daughter. And so let me put this. This is actually heavy because it's that good, good, good cotton. But anyway, I'm going to put it on the back of the little strip quilt, and I will be working on that. I'm usually working on 3 or 4 pieces as well. Hope I didn't stand up too fast and make you guys dizzy. So let's go over to the sewing machine and show you an easy way to make strip blocks. Now, I'm making the ones for this tiny quilt with a muslin piece of fabric underneath it. And then I sew one tiny piece by one tiny piece on it. On it. So unbiased is saying triple hearts, unbiased, you guys, as turning into a quilting queen. She recently made a quilt for a niece, and she showed it to me today. It's really cute. Auntie Joanne Stevens is taking up hand quilting, and she's making all these pieces, and Auntie Joanne is photographing them and then practicing moving them around. Like, you can make one block, photograph it 4 times, and get a preview of what it will look like when you put it together. I think that is so unique and so much fun. And I hope to say that one day when you guys write your memoirs, that you say, well, Auntie Ellen, my big sister, my auntie got me into quilting, and I just love it. That's my sole purpose being on YouTube. I'm not making enough money to do anything unless y'all watch them daggone stankin' ads. Stankin' ads. So, what I want to show you are these are also in the strip box that I had. I'm gonna put this over. Maybe I can see the chat. I finally got the do not disturb on. Okay. Okay, so I want to see what's going on in the chat because I couldn't see it before. You guys just bear with me because I'm going to show you a new way of making strip blocks. A quick way. And you can use pre-cuts doing this as well. You can use pre-cuts anyway. Garden, quilt, and art show. So let me pull you guys up. Let me turn the volume down. And if, okay, why am I hearing anything? Don't tell me I'm stuck in the ads too. Yeah, guess what? I'm stuck in the ads too. Oh, oh well. But I want to show, I want to show Psalm 146. She sent me some fabric. It was a fat quarter. And I'm putting that into my little strip quilt. Joanne, you're up to 4 ads. Oh my goodness. That's a lot, you guys. You try to let the ads run? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get my money out of StreamYard though before I fire their behinds. I have the paid version of StreamYard. It was supposed to be like an early bird special where you get $10. You get $10 for a month for a year. They're cutting me off. They're cutting me off. Just the same. I want to show you this Psalm 146. This has sunflowers in it too. So that's going in. Some people have ads, some people don't. Sometimes you get you a nut, sometimes you don't. What is a pot? Put some sign an almond joy or some kind of candy. So I'm going to, because I still have blue thread in here from working on mommy's quilt. So this is what you can do for and I'm going to mix different colors, lights and darks, because I don't know if you remember, those of you who've been following me, if you can remember that bag that I made into no, it was a small quilt and I made it into a bag. So what I'm doing here, I'm separating like the whites and light colors because they are going on one side of the block. And this one, I love this one. I use this one a lot on my embroidery machine, which I'm trying to get out. And these were strips that I cut off of a grandmother's fan, a really nice fabric that I will be using for the lights, but not right here. Because what I want to show you is how you can put pre-cut fabrics the whole length of the fabric and sew them onto other pieces. So this side I have lights, this side I have colors, and because this is kind of a maroon purpley color, I'm going to start with this one. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm not going to sew the whole strip because I want to keep this short for you guys. So I'm going to cut it in half. I could do it without licking my fingers. Ah, wait, Faye. There it goes. We don't want no spit on nobody's quilt nowadays, right? So here's one strip. I'm gonna put the other half over there because I kind of like to balance my quilt. So here's a piece of black. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. That's the honest to goodness truth. They should pay you for that one. Almond Joy has nuts, Mounds don't. Yeah, my mother used to love Almond Joys. Almond Joys. Mother, not used to. We just don't give you candy. Actually, the Almond Joys now got smaller. So I'm cutting these pieces in half because I'm going to show you an easy way to make strip quilts. And if you buy them pre-cut, they're already 2.5 inches. So I'll put this one next. Actually, I put this one next to that one. And I'll put this one next because I want to show you an easier way to make them. So these are pieces of fabric that are cut. They're all ironed. These fabrics have been ironed for 10 years, you guys. But I put them in a container and folded them up so that they wouldn't get unwrinkled. I sent Unbiased a piece of fabric that had been ironed since forever, and she said it was still pressed when she got it. So that's three. Okay. So I'm looking. I think I will actually put the same one on either end because I want to show you guys how you can make a block without all these tiny little pieces. You don't like Almond Joy? Oh, the analytic gardener doesn't like Peter Pan coconut almond joys, the ones with the nuts or without the nuts. So, what is everybody's favorite candy bar in here? My favorite one is Snickers. Snickers put me in the hospital one time. I'd had some major surgery, went home, and Daddy's asked me what I want. Well, Daddy always gave me, the good daughter, whatever I wanted. I had been on a liquid diet, tubes, all that stuff. I wanted an almond joy. Well, that almond joy went somewhere that, oh, couldn't got stuck. Joanne said Snickers, Butterfinger. That was my last husband's favorite, my Butterfingers. Brooks loved Butterfingers. So, Snickers and Twix. Okay. Well, I ate that Snickers bar and I was in so much pain. I forgot what type of pain medicine they called in for me. That didn't help. It wasn't oxycodone. It was something that the athletes used to take and get addicted to or whatever. But I ate that thing, and my mother was following the ambulance so close. She came out there to visit. Oh, Joanne says 10 ads. I'll fix that, you guys, some kind of way. I don't know. I've been messing around with different things, trying to get this channel to do something, but apparently it's too much. Too much. You guys just hang with me until today. So I'm putting all these, but then again, all I don't like all darks, all lights. I like to mix them up. So I'm going to get a couple of light fabrics to put in here. Boy, this one is really old. It's a vintage piece. This one came from, I don't know if you guys remember, I told you I have a friend upstairs. You jinxed yourself, Yankee sister. One just got you. That'll learn you, darn ya. So I'm going to put a light color in between some of these. So what I'm going to show you is how you can make, and this is going to be a big block. So I'm going to do every other strip a light one. So I'm going to take this one on the outside and sew it to this one. I just want to show you guys a quick way of doing it without all those little pieces like I'm sewing on muslin. And I'm going to take this out of my ear because Dolores is not in the black room. You don't need it. And I'm going to hang myself trying to sew these together. So you put them right sides together. Some of them are hard to see the right side from the wrong side. But you know what? You can intentionally put the wrong side up there. I have made quilts like that. Almost homesteading with Janet. I was going to send you a text because I hadn't seen you for a while and I was concerned about you and the people that I don't see that I'm familiar with. I will be checking on you. So I'm sewing a straight stitch. I had it on 3, but I'm going to put it on 2.5 for the stitch length. And because I was sewing the denim before, and I know you can't see my face, but I wanted you to see the sewing machine. And I'm holding my hands on the side because I don't want to pull the fabric and stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. And you'll find that when you find fabrics, especially when you find fabric on sale, depending on where it is coming from, you need to know that they're different widths. The fabrics that come from other countries are not as wide as the ones here. They're done in millimeters, centimeters, stuff like that. So normally I go up and down. But what I wanted to show you when you're sewing strips of fabric, like I think I just went down that way. So the next strip I'm going to sew I'm going to start from the opposite end because it wiggles when you're sewing and you want to make sure that it doesn't get warped too much. So this strip I'm starting for, actually what I'll do is I'll just put a little pin in it for now, just so I'll know this end sort of kind of is the top. I'm calling it the top for now. So for those of you who have yardage and big strips, this is how you can sew them together. And in quilting, the sewing, the width of the seam is usually a quarter inch seam. So I'm only going to sew a few of these together. So you notice that I cut each one of these in half, but the half on one is not the same as the half in another. It depends on how it's printed. It depends on if it's been pre-washed. So I usually go from one end and chain piece, but I'm not doing that. So that was the top of this one. Let's do I have another lighter piece. This one is unbleached muslin. So I know this is a big piece, so I'm going to start at the bottom. Almost Homesteading with Janet. Thank you for being a member of the Friends and Family Club. Now, Almost Homesteading with Janet, those of you, this block is beginner friendly. And those of you who've been sewing just a short time, but you're buying yardage, I saw Unbiased with big pieces of fabric for the new quilt she's making for her niece. And see, on these are not like small, intricate blocks, so I can sew as fast as I want. I don't have to go slow and be careful in the corners. So, okay. So I'm going to cut you across there. No, 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 no. Good boy, Hershey. So I put you over there. You over there. Hershey, good boy. Hush. So actually, I'm glad I'm showing you guys this. You know how I chain piece and I keep going one piece after the other? That's why I chain piece. You see all those long pieces? And Vi said that's how she made her quilt top. Good for you. Good for you. And I think I want to put, oh, I love this butterfly fabric. It's come out in different versions year after year after year. So where's that pin that I said was the top? Oh, okay. So this one I'm going to sew starting from this side. Okay. So, Unbiased, are you going to stitch in the ditch and do that quilt? It's really fast. What we're making Almost Homesteading with Janet is a strip set. When you sew a bunch of strips together, it is called a strip set. And we're going to iron the strip set and cut it into smaller blocks to make blocks. I saw someone in here, or maybe it was on the Facebook group, and said they were making a rail fence. A rail fence is a type of block where it's just strips and you turn them different ways, like you see a rail fence. Okay, so I'm only going to put two more on here. So now these dark, light, dark. So now I think I will put the other side, because this one block, I'm going to show you what happens if you put the same fabric on each end. Donzel Cooper is saying, nice quilt. Donzel, did I speak to you earlier? You have to add the bad, and you haven't learned that part yet. So I will text you the Unbiased. I will text you a video, or maybe it's part of a live that I did where I put the batting in, but it wasn't for a whole quilt. It was for a a table. I think it was actually for the same placemat that I have here, actually, if I recollect correctly, because I was just doing it for a demo. Uh-oh. 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 Do you hear a funny noise? When you hear a funny noise, stop. Do you see that? That's why it was making a funny noise. And this, I usually sew my quilts with cotton thread, but this has a polyester because I was working on my mom's quilt. Well, I don't think this one is actually stuck, but I'm going to test it on a piece of something ugly. You know, they say there's no such thing as ugly fabric. You just didn't cut it small enough. So, if you have something that looks okay. So, let me see. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think I do. I think I do. So, I think when I pull this thread, pull the bobbin thread out of the little thingy. So that's one of the things you have to factor in, especially if you're sewing for others. Woo! Stop, Hershey. See, he woofed because he heard me say, "Oop!" He knew something was wrong. Deborah Garrett, thanks for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm just hand putting the. Oh, that's another thing that happens when you're pulling thread through. So I like to pull the bottom thread up before I put the lid back on the bobbin case. But you learn how to do that. But what I was going to tell you is if you keep going, when you hear funny noises, don't do it because it'll probably tear up your machine. And you end up, I don't know what happened. So maybe there's a piece caught down there, but it's acting a fool. I'll tell you what, I have had a bundle of issues. So I will just end it for now. We're going live Saturday. We are having a 2K celebration, 6 o'clock Saturday. I will have this block finished so that I can show you back and forth. I will also have my mom's denim quilt, the last two seams sewn together. So, Saturday we're going live. I have a 2K celebration. 1 minute I have 2K. 1 minute it went down to 19 something. The next one, 2001. So, we are having a party Saturday. And if there's anybody new coming in, you will have to be a subscriber to win. The rules are you have to be a subscriber, you have to be over 18. You have, if you're winning a product that is going to be something that's handmade, which I have two gifts that are, you have to live in the lower 48 because shipping is prohibitive, or maybe we can have an alternate cash app. But, and you can only win one. You can only win one. So, do any of you have any questions? So there are the rules. Them's are the rules. Over 18 for merchandise live in the lower 48. You can only win once, or you must have Cash App or Zelle. Okay, so are there any questions about how to put these strips together? I know our treasured home. I know almost homesteading with Janet. You like to work on things. Do you have any questions? Oh, let me talk about the prizes that will be given out. First prize will be a 45-inch by 45-inch quilt top made by made. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't think. It will be, well, it will be a quilt top. There will be a second prize will be a, I'm not going to tell you who they're made by. The next prize will be a large handmade tote. third prize will be one of these. For those of you who are sewing, Auntie Joanne, you might want to get in on this. This is a wooden iron for when you don't want to get up and iron, unbiased. Those of you who are quilters would like one of these. And fourth prize, I haven't decided. I think it's going to be a key fob, either a key fob or a hand crocheted dishcloth. I'll actually let the person decide. So now it's time to say goodbye. I want to encourage each of you to do what you love and love what you do. Don't forget that Miss Shirley will be going live tonight at 7. I think Vision Preparedness goes at 8. I think Odom, I'm not sure, but you can check. So we want to surprise each other. Deborah Garrett saying, thank you for 2K. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, the bell is under some of this stuff over here. I heard you. My goat spell, my real goat spell from the homestead. So, peace, love, and blessings to all. I appreciate each of you coming, and have a good evening. Hold on for the outro. Promise there won't be any what do you call it? any commercial things. So let me do it.